Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Crusader Kings III, where we are playing in Africa. And while this is loading up, Faceless, Kalinus, and probably some others were asking, why aren't we doing Valhalla? Quite frankly, it's because there was no announcement that this patch would be out yesterday, and I kind of wanted to cover Crusader Kings when the new patch came out, because they have apparently fixed a bunch of things which I was most annoyed about. So this would have been scheduled had I known about the patch. But because it wasn't, yes, I should have updated my schedule for today. I'm sorry about that, that's on me. But quite frankly, Crusader Kings just does better than Valhalla. Valhalla's always had really low numbers. So that's what we're doing. We'll probably do some more Valhalla again next week, although there are still some other things like Solasta, which we still haven't been able to cover. But that's the reasoning, is because there was a patch, but there was no pre-announcement of when the patch would actually drop. It just appeared. They're like, oh, by the way, there's a patch now. Okay. Thanks for the heads up. So, we are playing as Igbo. We are in Nigeria. Actually, I don't even know where we are. I mean, I know where we are, but what country is this in the modern parlance? I don't think it's Nigeria, though I could be wrong. Let's go and take a look. How did I get down to Africa? Started there. Oh, just give me Google Maps. Why is this always such a pain to find? Maps, maps, maps. There it is. Zoom out. Scroll down. So, yeah, we would be just in Nigeria. Oh, in fact, there's no just about it. We are solidly in Nigeria. Yeah, we're right there. Okay. In fact, if I just go and share that real quick, then you can see where it is I'm looking. Do 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 boop. Okay, so this is the map, and you can see the Niger River flows up here and then goes around and goes around into that. So we are just in kind of this area right there. So yeah, Nigeria, modern day Nigeria. So there you go. Always curious about the geography stuff. So, how did we get down here? You can now create your own character in the ruler designer. So we have created Jarl Mordred, the brave, ambitious, and just character who's a strategic mastermind and pretty good in a fight as well. And you can also, as part of that, choose where you want to start. So we have started down here in Igbo. We are Orsatru, we are Norse. We are slowly but surely converting this region to our faith. The faith conversion is taking a long time, as it always does, but the culture is going a little bit quicker. So we do have this little Norse outpost in Africa in 881 AD. So what we are doing is we're basically waiting until we have a character that has 10,000 piety. And then we'll be doing a couple of console wizardry to reform the faith, because there is no way that we can reform it from down in the south. Unless, of course, it looks like someone up here looks like they might be able to reform it, in which case I'll just let it happen naturally. And then we will just reform to a more African-style religion at that point. But I very much want to stay Orsatru if I can. That is the intention anyway. Vikings went pretty much anywhere where there was water. I mean, yeah, the name of this series is The Lost Vikings, so we'll probably start down here in Nigeria. I kind of fancy playing out in Somalia or Ethiopia kind of region at some point as well. And I'd also like to play a little bit longer in Burma or possibly just in India. There are lots of places that we could certainly bring the Orsatru faith to. So part of the idea of this series, and this is more again for the YouTube people, is we've set a goal. That is to create the Kingdom of Mali. We want to create the Kingdom of Mali over here, take over the gold mines. Once we have achieved that, this series ends. It's done. Except for the fact that I will then immediately start a new series, which is playing as the Kingdom of Mali, and that's just going to be a new series up on YouTube. So we're basically getting around the problem of having 200 plus episodes where a series just dies because there's just a lack of viewership because it's gone on for so long. So I'm hoping that this series will last maybe 5 streams, which would still be a good 40 episodes. No, it'd be more than that. 5 times Yeah, 40. That's kind of what I'm hoping to get out of this. Maybe a little bit longer, I'm not sure. And then we start a new one, as opposed to having a series that's like 200 episodes, because unfortunately YouTube algorithm just doesn't push that. Yesterday or the other day you mentioned that Haston had taken Germany. Is this the same Haston that made in the TV show Last Kingdom? That I don't know. Haston is the guy that starts here in Montague. And actually, Ragnar Histason is his son, so he has just died. A 21-year-old is now in charge. He did make it to 66, but he starts out as a fantastically wealthy character, and he can basically use that money to buy a bunch of soldiers. And he starts with a load of special event troops, because this is something that historically happened. Haston did just go, you know what, I fancy living there in France. And then basically with his event troops, instead of going after Francia as he's supposed to, he went after Germany, although his lands in Germany have since split. Although they've probably split between family members. There are going to be a bunch of Ossatru territories here in Germany, which is going to be interesting to watch just what that means. So right now the Vikings do own Copenhagen, Uppsala and Trondheim, and also Paderborn. The only one that they don't own is Zeeland. And is the Ostfriesland... No, you're Norse, but you're Catholic. So they didn't stay also true up there. Alright, onwards. We are in the process of rebuilding our armies because we do lots of raiding. And the rebels are rising up. That's fine. We should be able to deal with them, seeing as the war is over. We have just taken 2 new territories. We've taken over Igala and also Imbibo. Idoma is the remnants of the people we were just fighting against. They are still quite strong, and we are just in the process of like raiding all of the people around us. So once we've got ourselves secured, basically if we take Idoma, then we will have all of our de jure territories for this duchy, and that should give us a pretty good position from which to start pushing out into other territories. Samuel, crikey, thank you very much for all of those bits. Really do appreciate that. Thank you. Good evening, no Valhalla. Sorry, Arkmill, I literally just stopped explaining why no Valhalla. Because of the Crusader Kings update yesterday, which was completely unannounced, I've decided to dedicate more time to Crusader Kings. It's on me that I forgot to update the schedule yesterday. I should have, but it was always intended that I would do Crusader Kings once I knew that patch was out. They basically just got up in the morning and it's like, patch is out. Okay, thanks for the warning. Guess I have to change my schedule then. To the brash, Jarl Mordred, we have been burdened with your oppressive laws for too long. No more. We are done paying your taxes. Never. A peasant's lot is to serve. So they've raised their armies there in the north. I'm going to raise my armies over here. And we're immediately going to go and attack you, because you've got basically no troops compared to me. Oh, I didn't even take command. Wasn't needed. Alright, so, fight's over. Well done, everyone. Time to go home. Worst uprising ever! And then the other thing we can do is keep an eye on these, because all of you lot are coming of age. You do all have, yes, guardians. Good, good, good. And Witty Viking is 13. He's only 3 years away, and then we can start actually using him. So that's dealt with. Abbas can no longer increase control. Why not? Oh, because of the uprising, I think. Well, I would still like you to continue increasing control. You're actually almost done, but we need to make sure that we grab as much territory here or as much control of this territory as possible, so that we can start placating everyone. Alright, once we get a couple more troops, basically once we got our men-at-arms maximized, which is now, we can start raiding. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you to here, and we'll just use that as the base of operations for raiding. And I will be taking charge of this so I can get the Viking trait, which I'm still a little surprised that I've not gotten. Now, how many troops do you have? 1,800. You're just growing stronger and stronger. You have 980. That we might be able to take. You only have 3 ducats in that town, though. That's not really worth it. However, Busa. Busa has lots of money. Let's go and take that. Your stuff is really my stuff. Harrison, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And that's Mr. Anon to you. Thank you very much for the 4-month resubscription earlier on. Very much appreciate the ongoing support there. Thank you. Did they fix fervor? So there have been a lot of changes to how fervor functions, particularly when it comes to Great Wars. So Great Holy Wars, also known as Crusades, can now only trigger every 30 years, as opposed to every 5, I think was the previous limit. Which should mean that there's less of a roller coaster, because basically what's happening is Catholicism would have a heresy. Heresy would mean that fervor goes up, Pope would immediately declare a Great Holy War and then lose. And then immediately the fervor would nosedive, there'd be another heresy, he'd immediately declare another holy war, boom, up, down, Catholicism fractures. Now that it's limited to every 30 years, you should have the big boost from the heresy and it shouldn't fall as quickly. And also, if you lose... Actually, I don't know if you lose a Great Holy War, you may still lose fervor, but if... No, you don't. I'm pretty sure you don't. Now, if you lose a Great Holy War or Holy Wars, you don't lose fervor. You only lose fervor for winning. And if you win, the amounts have been reduced. So, for example, if there's a Holy War for a county, your faith loses only 1 fervor, instead of, I think, 10 as it used to be. If you go after a duchy, you lose 2 fervor. If you go after a kingdom, you lose 5. So... the amount of fervor lost over time has been pretty dramatically reduced, but the ways of gaining fervor are still the same. The only thing which I'm still a little unsure about is sinful bishops. They still cause fervor loss, but we'll see if the removal of the Holy Wars fixes that or not. Because, like I said, if your faith is already weak and you're losing the Holy Wars, it's not affecting you. You can keep on trying to expand. Whereas if you're quite small and maybe a bit more concentrated with 1 or 2 strong powers, you can probably expand, which will then reduce your fervor, which makes it more unstable. Which I think is the intended design. Wait, why are there only 400 of us? Oh, because I did raise local. Well, shoot. Yep, that's the rest of them. Head over there, please. So, we've got 476. However, they are my men-at-arms. We've got the light horsemen, we've got the bowmen. The bowmen are fighting the forest, which they like. They are using only bowmen and light footmen. They don't have any special forces here. So, we win that fight pretty easily. Good. Plus, we have the knights, and our knights are crazy strong. Bring me this bounteous plunder. Lovely jubbly. Now, can we head over here? That's not really worth the money. We'll just go out to sea. You lot, just head over to here and we'll just merge you together when you arrive. New martial lifestyle. Cool. That's worth 15. How big's your army? 1,200. 1,200 I could probably take. Oh, I can't merge you? You are both set to raiding. Well, that's irritating. Well, thanks for moving your army there. Appreciate it. Makes my raiding job a little bit easier. Now, we will take 100 attrition going through that, but I think that'll be just fine. There is a 15 there as well, so we'll be able to carry at least 30 home. Alright, another child. This is going to be called... It's going to sound awfully bad, but Whitey. You know, Viking in Africa. Alright, call you that. From Whitey is here. Super crazy! Thank you very much for the drink tea. I think I will do so. Actually needed that. What's the theme of this campaign other than Vikings in Africa? You mean Vikings in Africa is not enough? You want more? More? You want more? Get there? Not without taking a bucket load of attrition. I can get there by losing just 100, which I think is acceptable losses. Except it's this per army. Is this going to go down to 700? It is. Oh, that really hurts. My son, Yefteri, has been impressed with one of their household champions for a very long time. After finally meeting in person, he has been repeating the warrior's words to himself. Yefteri can become diligent. That's good. And Kebi wants a ransom. I can accept. That is fine by me. And there we go. We are now full. Now, unfortunately, getting back is going to cost me a lot of attrition, but doing that is going to be the cheapest way to do it. So we probably will lose some of the money we're holding, but we ought to be able to get away. And then we'll send you back home. Alright, off we go. Oh no, we're going to lose another 200, aren't we? We may well actually lose even more money. 34. We gained 4 ducats by taking that and lost 400 men. That seems completely not worthwhile. Well, Wibble. Especially as I've got hungry enemies around us. Oop, that was quick. Alright, let's send both of you home, because that did not go as well as I'd hoped. And now we're just going to need to sit back and replenish some soldiers. Oh, except you were both carrying separate loot. So we did actually come back with more than I expected. Okay. Ooh, we've promoted our culture. Please do the same in Igbo. Cool. Just figured you might have a goal going forwards. I mean, it's probably going to be something similar to the March of the Vikings, but probably less driven. I just go to wherever I feel like going. Well, looks interesting. Alright, let's move over there. Boom. We've moved over there. If anyone comes up with any ideas for goals, then please do let me know, because I am curious to hear them. Because I do like to have something to work towards. Like, the only goal we have right now is to create the Kingdom of Mali. So, we will eventually have to fight against Ghana, which should be interesting. And I want to create Mali. Once we've got the Kingdom of Mali, we can do something else. We can either play on as Mali. In fact, we almost certainly will play on as Mali. So once we are Mali, we'll need another goal. And possibly a long term objective. Maybe return to Scandinavia if they have fallen to the evils of Catholicism. Possibly. Go out to India. Go into Persia. Go into Egypt. Right, there's loads of different possibilities. In fact, I suspect that an Egyptian Viking nation would be kind of dangerous. Because there'd just be so many different directions you could go for a raiding. So you'd have ports in the Red Sea to go to India and Burma. You'd have the Nile to go into the interior of Africa. You'd be on the Mediterranean, so you could go after the Byzantines or possibly even up the rivers through Russia. You could hit Italy, you could hit Spain, you could hit North Africa. An Egyptian Viking might be interesting. We shall see. And we should be able to build some more stuff. So Igbo is currently building the sparring grounds, that's fine. I want to build marketplaces wherever it is possible to build marketplaces. Okay. Because we're going to be quite wealthy, Vikings. I do have a martial perk, thank you. We're going to get engineered for destruction so that we can get the raid speed. Although organised march is also very nice for the movement speed. But no, I think we'll do this. Also, that gives me the siege effectiveness, which is useful. And we're going to go all the way down to strategist. Now, can I call in some more people? No. I could do a hunt. Let's have a hunt. Cost me the majority of my money, but so be it. while we're just kind of sitting back, letting troops get strengthened. The spear lies perfectly balanced in my hand as I judge the distance to the heart. My wife, Haifchichas Gulanum, is crouching next to me, hefting her own spear. I will bring it down or strike true. I'm ambitious. This thing's mine. I'm better than everything and everyone. Take Gotland for yourself and then invade England. Could do. The hunt is drawing to an end. We mount our horses and leave the jungle behind as the servants prepare the heart and the other game for the journey back. We return home, reinvigorated. With loads and loads of prestige. So we could potentially raise another unit of horsemen. Although the continual drain on prestige could be bad. Especially if we go into an era where there's less fighting and just quieter. Witty has come of age. With sufficient tutelage, even a child that displayed little inclination towards warfare, such as Witty, can come to truly understand it. He has shown greater aptitude in the battle tactics and the management of armies. He'll make a fine commander one day, I am sure. So he is a skilled tactician. He's also a holy warrior. Trusting, just and calm. Good learning. He's a diplomat. Interesting. Well, we'll need to get you married. And let's go sort this by maximum age. We'll say 25. And then I think I'm just going to do some of all skills. That's what I usually like to fix this by. Lambu has potential. Except she's sadistic. I don't know if someone who's calm and trusting would necessarily get on with a sadist. Honest and brave and trusting. Yasmin sounds a bit better. No idea what intrigue even means. She's a good steward, which he lacks. Man, we'd be so open to intrigue. Actually tempted by Yasmin. She is 6 years older than we are, though. Who else are good fighters here? Tukuri is, but she's a terrible steward. She's also terrible at learning. I'd like to have someone with more learning. Like Pakita. Brave, content, callous. Having a content wife is good because she's less likely to try and murder you. Callous is bad, though. She's not very good at diplomacy, but he is. Pakita might be a good combination. Yasmin's there. Yasmin's not that far off the top. I think Yasmin's the best candidate here. She is a bit older, but they're both still really young. Let's go with Yasmin. I will gladly accept the marriage proposal. Good. Establish Mikkelgard under proper African Viking rule. That could be a goal. Also true. Will I ever return to Medieval Dynasty? Probably not with the current update. It gets a bit boring, just controlling the village. Like, it needs more stuff. The fact that the villagers don't actually consume anything except for food and firewood, is a bit annoying. Like, they don't use clothing, they don't use tools, they don't use seeds. I feel like the early game is really well fleshed out. The early game of Medieval Dynasty is phenomenal, but the mid to late game needs more. And again, it's in early access, so that's to be expected. Just need more stuff. Are there deer in Africa? I would think so. In fact, I'm sure there are. What would lions hunt? And aren't zebras basically just a type of deer? Antelope. There you go. Yeah, I knew there was. Zebras are horses, okay. They're similar. Okay, so what can we build in Bonnie? Well, nothing, because we ain't got the money for it. But we are going to need more sparring grounds, because sparring grounds are going to significantly increase the potential strength of our military. We do need to wait another couple of months to get full levies once more. We have 1,000 though. I feel like with 1,000... we can go out and do our thing. So... we'll go and land over there, I think. Although Ife is another one that I could go and attack. If we'd landed here... oh man, we're almost there already. Let's land here. And we'll go after Ife, because I want to see if I can, like, beat their army outside of the jungles, then I can raid the rest. I don't like that these guys are as strong as they are. In fact, they are being raided right now. Oops, no, don't do that. See, why is that taking attrition? The attrition rules still make absolutely zero sense to me. Because I thought it was you didn't take attrition if you're alongside a river. Clearly we're alongside a river. Another martial perk. Nice. Living off the land. Raid speed plus 25. That sounds good to me. Is that their army? Yes. Now I'll take the attrition. See, this is called being sneaky. So it's 967 versus their 931. We are out in the open. We have our cavalry bonus. They have bush hunters, but we're not in the forest, so who cares? Also cavalry counter bush hunters. And wow, they have 500 of those. They have an attack of 30. Regular archers are only at 25. Man, bush hunters are strong. And a defense of 12 versus 10. And they pursue. And they're also good in jungles. Ah! Definitely a good thing that we're fighting them out here in the open. Thankfully, we're also absolutely spanking them. So there we go. Child of my dynasty. My daughter-in-law Yasmin has given birth to a daughter. Aha, so this is going to be... my famous daughter, Ron. May you grow up to be strong and wise, Ron. Unique units are strong. They really are. And the fact that they get to start with them, whereas like my Housecarls aren't until feudal. Or early medieval, rather. And hey, Bamboozle, how are you doing? Okay, so we are now successfully raiding these guys. You've got more money. That would take attrition. Let's go over here. Yeah, both of these would be worth loads and loads of cash. And I like money, so let's do it. Why are you raiding this? There's no money here. And again, why can I move along here and not take attrition, whereas I couldn't move along there and not take attrition? I think attrition is related to where you disembark, as long as you stay close to where you disembarked from. I disembarked here. So, no, it's not.